In an age where the boundaries between indoor and outdoor living continue to blur, our homes are no longer confined to four walls. The modern patio has emerged as a vital extension of personal space, a canvas where design meets purpose and nature intertwines with human creativity. This video, Harmony in the Outdoors, Crafting Modern Patio Sanctuaries for Connection and Serenity, invites readers to reimagine their outdoor areas as more than mere backyards or balconies. These spaces hold the potential to become sanctuaries of calm, hubs of connection, and reflections of individuality. At the heart of this transformation lies the delicate balance between aesthetics and functionality. A well-designed patio is not simply an arrangement of furniture or plants. It is a thoughtfully curated environment where every element, from the sweep of a pergola's shadow to the warmth of a fire pit's glow, serves a dual purpose. Concrete tiles ground the space with clean lines, while river rocks whisper of organic textures. Pergolas frame the sky, and built-in benches offer both structure and solace. These choices are not arbitrary but intentional, creating harmony between form and use. Nature plays a pivotal role in this dance of design. A patio becomes alive when palm fronds sway in the breeze, when vibrant blooms spill from planters, or when vertical gardens rise like living art. Greenery is not an afterthought but a collaborator, softening hard edges and breathing life into corners. It shields, it dazzles, and it connects us to the earth, reminding us that even in our most curated spaces, wildness has a place. Yet, a patio's true magic lies in its ability to bring people together. Around a flickering fire pit, conversations deepen. At an outdoor kitchen, meals become memories. A bar bathed in golden light invites laughter, while a dining table under the stars turns ordinary evenings into celebrations. These spaces are stages for human connection, designed not just to be seen but to be lived in, places where solitude and companionship coexist. Lighting, too, weaves its own narrative. The soft radiance of string lights tangled in a pergola's beams, the flicker of a lantern casting patterns on stone, the way sunset paints concrete tiles in hues of amber. These details transform a patio from a daytime retreat into an evening sanctuary. Light shapes mood, guiding the eye and the spirit, ensuring that beauty persists long after the sun dips below the horizon. Privacy completes the picture, turning openness into intimacy. A dark wooden fence becomes a backdrop for climbing vines. A lattice panel filters sunlight into dappled shadows, and tall shrubs murmur of seclusion. These boundaries are not barriers but invitations to unwind, to exhale, to claim a slice of the world as one's own. This video is a journey into crafting such spaces. It is a call to see patios as extensions of our lives, where every choice, material, plant, light, or layout reflects who we are and how we wish to live. Through principles of design, nods to nature, and an emphasis on human connection, it seeks to inspire readers to create outdoor sanctuaries that nurture both body and soul. Here, amidst the rustle of leaves and the crackle of fire, we find not just refuge but rediscovery, a reminder that harmony with the world begins at our doorstep. The blueprint of balance, structural foundations. The foundation of any enduring outdoor sanctuary lies in its bones, the structural choices that shape both form and function. Like the frame of a painting, these elements define the space's boundaries, rhythm, and harmony, grounding aesthetics in purpose. At its core, structural design is an exercise in intentionality, where every material, line, and zone serves as a silent collaborator in crafting an environment that feels both deliberate and alive. Symmetry emerges as a guiding principle, offering a visual language of order and calm. Consider the interplay of twin black-framed sofas flanking a fire pit, their mirrored placement creating a stage for connection while anchoring the space with geometric precision. This deliberate balance is not rigid but inviting, a testament to how symmetry can foster intimacy rather than formality. Yet balance need not always be literal. Modularity, as seen in the fluid arrangement of an L-shaped sofa around a square fire pit, introduces flexibility, allowing the same structure to adapt to quiet mornings or lively gatherings. Here, the architecture whispers adaptability, proving that order and spontaneity can coexist. Materiality becomes a dialogue of contrasts. Smooth concrete tiles stretch across the ground, their cool, unbroken plains interrupted by the organic irregularity of river rocks nestled in seams. This interplay of textures, hard and soft, polished and raw, invites tactile engagement while grounding the design in nature's unpredictability. Similarly, the juxtaposition of black metal pergolas against warm wooden beams illustrates how opposing materials can harmonize, each element amplifying the other's character. These choices are not merely aesthetic but deeply functional. Concrete endures, wood weathers gracefully, and stone retains heat, each contributing to the patio's longevity and sensory appeal. Zoning transforms open areas into purposeful vignettes. A pergola draped in shadows carves out a dining nook, while a fire pit's radiant circle defines a gathering hub. The outdoor kitchen, with its stainless steel appliances and stone countertops, becomes a functional anchor, a space where culinary artistry meets al fresco leisure. These zones are not isolated but interconnected, guided by sightlines that draw the eye from the dining table's floral centerpiece to the fire pit's flickering flames. Even in compact spaces, vertical layering, such as elevated planters or tiered seating, creates depth, ensuring every square foot serves a role. Built-in structures emerge as the unsung heroes of design, blending seamlessly into the landscape while offering enduring utility. A bench extending from a fire pit's base becomes both seating and sculpture, its wooden slats echoing the pergola's overhead beams. Storage cabinets tucked beneath counters disguise clutter, while raised planters double as privacy screens. These elements speak to a philosophy of integration, where nothing is superfluous and every feature earns its place through dual purpose. Ultimately, structural design is the art of invisible effort, the framework that fades into the background, allowing beauty and function to take center stage. It is the quiet assurance of a pergola's sturdy columns, the subtle guidance of a stone pathway, and the unspoken invitation of a well-placed bench. By mastering these foundations, we create spaces that do not shout but sing, their harmony resonating long after the last tile is laid. Nature as co-designer, integrating greenery and texture. A patio transcends mere design when nature is invited not as a guest, but as a collaborator. This segment delves into the art of weaving living elements into the architectural tapestry of outdoor spaces, where plants and textures become storytellers, shaping mood, privacy, and sensory delight. Here, foliage is not an accessory, but a foundational brushstroke, painting vitality into every corner. The journey begins with strategic plant placement, a dance between form and function. Tall, swaying palm trees and sleek black planters do more than evoke tropical serenity. They frame the space, drawing the eye upward and softening the rigid lines of modern furniture. Similarly, clusters of tropical shrubs along a wooden fence act as living walls, their dense foliage muffling noise and prying eyes, transforming openness into intimacy. Even low-lying flower beds brimming with red and purple blooms serve dual roles, bursts of color that guide movement, and subtle boundaries that define pathways without barriers. These choices reflect a philosophy where every plant is purposeful, a participant in the patio's narrative. Planter styles emerge as silent sculptors of ambience. Black metal planters, like those cradling slender palms, echo the clean lines of contemporary design, their dark hues a dramatic foil to vibrant greenery. In contrast, weathered wooden troughs overflowing with herbs or trailing vines introduce rustic warmth, bridging the gap between manufactured and organic. The choice of vessel is as critical as the plant itself. Elevated planters add vertical interest, while buried pots create the illusion of plants sprouting organically from the ground. Each planter becomes a stage, elevating greenery from background filler to focal artistry. Vertical gardens and living walls exemplify innovation in spatial harmony. Imagine a lattice panel cloaked in creeping ivy, its tendrils weaving through slats to cast dappled shadows, a living curtain that breathes and shifts with the seasons. These vertical layers do more than save space. They transform flat surfaces into dynamic ecosystems, inviting the eye to wander and discover. A wall of ferns or succulents becomes a living mural, proving that nature thrives not just horizontally, but in every dimension. Texture, too, plays a leading role. The feathery fronds of a bird of paradise contrast with the leathery resilience of magnolia leaves, creating a tactile symphony underfoot and overhead. River rocks nestle between concrete tiles, mimic natural streambeds. Their cool, uneven surfaces a counterpoint to the patio's sleek geometry. Even the choice of mulch, crushed walnut shells versus smooth pebbles, adds subtlety, grounding the design in earthiness while enhancing drainage and soil health. These textures invite touch, grounding visitors in the physicality of the space. The case studies breathe life into these principles. A pergola, draped in string lights and flanked by flower beds, illustrates how structure and flora can coalesce. The wooden beams support climbing roses, while the blooms below mirror the lantern's golden glow. A circular fire pit, encircled by black wicker chairs, gains warmth from potted flowers whose ruby petals echo the fire's flicker. Here, plants are not decor but dialogue partners, responding to and enhancing the elements around them. In this symbiotic relationship, nature is neither tamed nor trivialized. It is respected as a dynamic force, one that grows, adapts, and surprises. A well-integrated patio becomes a living canvas where seasonal shifts bring new colors, scents, and textures. Spring's blossoms give way to autumn's russet tones, and even winter's bare branches etch intricate patterns against the sky. This ever-changing beauty reminds us that design is not static, but a collaboration with time itself. To design with nature is to embrace imperfection. A leaf may yellow, a vine may overreach, yet these flaws become part of the patio's character. In this space, perfection lies not in control but in partnership, a testament to the humility and creativity required to let nature co-author our sanctuaries. Social alchemy, spaces for gathering and connection. A patio's soul is measured not by its beauty alone, but by the laughter it cradles, the conversations it amplifies, and the memories it nurtures. This segment explores how design can choreograph human connection, transforming static layouts into dynamic stages where relationships flourish. At its heart lies a simple truth. Great outdoor spaces are not just seen. They are felt through the warmth of shared meals, the ease of lingering talks, and the unspoken comfort of togetherness. Fire pits, the primal hearth of modern gatherings. The fire pit, an ancient symbol of community, remains the quintessential social nucleus. Its flickering flames draw people inward, creating an intimate circle where barriers dissolve. Consider the circular stone fire pit, encircled by black wicker chairs. The radial arrangement ensures no one sits at the head of the table, democracy in design, where every seat is equal and eye contact flows freely. The crackle of burning wood becomes a rhythmic backdrop, inviting stories and silence alike. Even in sleek, modern iterations, like the square concrete fire pit framed by an L-shaped sofa, the effect is timeless, a magnetic pull that turns strangers into confidants. Outdoor kitchens and bars, where culinary art meets conversation. An outdoor kitchen is more than a functional zone. It is a theater of interaction. The sizzle of a grill, the clink of glasses, the passing of plates, these rituals transform cooking into performance, drawing guests into the act. The stainless steel kitchen, flanked by potted herbs and a bar counter, exemplifies this synergy. The chef becomes a host, engaged with guests while chopping herbs or flipping skewers, erasing the divide between preparation and participation. Nearby, the pergola-shaded bar, with its trio of wooden stools, offers a secondary hub, a place for impromptu toasts or solitary reflection, its countertop worn smooth by elbows and anecdotes. Adaptable seating, designing for fluidity. Social spaces thrive on flexibility. Modular furniture, like the sectional sofas or the built-in bench extending from a fire pit, allows a patio to morph with the mood. A daybed piled with cushions invites lazy afternoon reading, but can later anchor a lively game night. The key lies in movement. Lightweight stools tucked under counters, ottomans that double as side tables, or dining chairs that swivel effortlessly between the fire pit and the table. This adaptability ensures the space serves not just a single purpose, but countless unscripted moments. Zoning for intimacy and energy. Even in open layouts, subtle cues guide social dynamics. A dining table positioned under a pergola, draped in string lights, creates a distinct room for meals, its elevation slightly raised to signal transition. Nearby, a sunken seating area around a fire pit offers a cocoon-like retreat, its lower profile fostering quieter exchanges. Meanwhile, the barstool-lined counteracts as a casual threshold, a spot for quick chats or solitary sipping, bridging the gap between active and passive zones. These intentional divisions allow a single patio to host a cocktail party, a family dinner, and a solitary stargazer, all in one evening. The unseen thread, comfort as catalyst. Behind every great social space lies an obsession with comfort. Plush cushions soften metal frames, throw blankets drape over benches, and tabletops are sanded to a velvety finish. Ergonomics matter. Chair heights that align with fire pit edges, bench depths that encourage leaning back, and shade structures angled to block glare. These details go unnoticed until they're absent, proof that comfort is the silent architect of lingering moments. In the end, designing for connection is an act of empathy. It requires anticipating how bodies will move, where eyes will meet, and how laughter will echo. A patio becomes a social sanctuary not through grandeur, but through thoughtful details that whisper, "Stay a little longer." Here, in the alchemy of firelight, shared meals, and adaptable corners, we find the true magic of outdoor living. Spaces that don't just host people, but bring them alive. Lighting the mood, ambience through illumination. Light is the unseen sculptor of outdoor spaces, carving intimacy from openness and weaving warmth into the cool embrace of night. This segment explores how illumination transcends practicality, becoming an art form that shapes emotion, guides interaction, and elevates the ordinary into the extraordinary. Here, every flicker, glow, and shadow is a deliberate stroke in the canvas of ambience. Fire pits, the ancient dance of flame and shadow. At the heart of many patios lies the fire pit, a primal beacon that transcends its role as a heat source. The crackle of flames in a stone-ringed pit casts a primal, flickering light, its amber hues painting faces in soft relief and drawing people into its orbit. Wood-burning fire pits offer the sensory richness of smoky aroma and irregular light patterns, while gas variants provide controlled, steady warmth. The choice of material matters. Rough stone absorbs and radiates heat, glowing like embers after dark, while polished metal reflects light in sharp, dynamic shards. Positioned centrally, a fire pit becomes a sun around which social constellations revolve, its light low enough to preserve the night's mystery, yet bright enough to knit strangers into companions. String lights, celestial webs overhead. Draped across a pergola's beams, string lights transform structure into spectacle. Edison bulbs, with their vintage filament glow, evoke nostalgia, while delicate fairy lights mimic starlight scattered through leaves. The arrangement, crisscrossed, cascading, or woven into geometric patterns, dictates the mood. A dense canopy of lights creates a cocoon of radiance, ideal for lively gatherings, while sparse strands lend a whisper of illumination, perfect for contemplative evenings. The pergola's material plays a role. Wooden beams soften light into a diffused warmth, while metal frames cast crisp, patterned shadows. Dimmable switches allow the light to breathe with the occasion, brightening for laughter-filled dinners or softening for midnight confessions. Lanterns, portable magic in glass and metal. Lanterns are the nomadic poets of outdoor lighting, their verses written in flickering candlelight or steady LED glow. Moroccan lanterns, pierced with intricate patterns, scatter light like constellations on walls, while sleek modern designs frame flames as living art. Placed along pathways, they guide footsteps. Clustered on tables, they create intimate islands of light. Solar-powered options harness the day's sun to fuel the night's glow, their autonomy a nod to sustainability. A lantern hung from a pergola becomes a mobile moon, its light swaying gently in the breeze, casting ever-shifting tales on the ground below. Natural light, the sun's unscripted drama. The sun is the first designer of any patio, its arc dictating the space's rhythm. A west-facing patio basks in sunset's golden hour, where fading light melds with emerging firelight, creating a gradient of warmth, amber to crimson to twilight blue. Light-colored tiles reflect daylight, amplifying brightness, while dark river rocks absorb it, grounding the space in shadow. Reflective surfaces, a polished bar top, a still water feature, catch and multiply the sun's rays, turning functional elements into radiant accents. The transition from day to night is a slow, sensory ballet, where artificial lighting gently takes the stage, ensuring no jarring leap from sunlit clarity to nocturnal mystery. Recessed lighting, the subtle alchemist. Minimalist and modern patios often speak in whispers, their lighting no exception. LED strips hidden beneath benches cast a soft upward glow, turning seating into ethereal platforms. Pathway lights embedded in concrete tiles guide without glaring, their low profile preserving the patio's clean lines. Recessed fixtures and planters highlight foliage from below, transforming shrubs into silhouettes and flowers into luminous sculptures. This lighting is stealthy, its presence felt rather than seen, a testament to the power of subtlety. Layering light, the symphony of shadows. True ambience lies in layering, orchestrating light to play multiple roles. Ambient strings overhead bathe the space in a general glow, task lights over the grill ensure culinary precision, and accent spots aimed at a sculptural palm or water feature add drama. Zoning follows function. The dining table, illuminated by a pendant or chandelier, becomes a stage for feasts, while the fire pit area, lit by flame and flanked by lanterns, invites relaxed lounging. Dimmer switches and smart systems allow these layers to shift seamlessly, adapting to the evening's tempo. The unseen rules, balance and resilience. Lighting, when overdone, can bleach a space of its magic. The key is balance, bright enough to enchant, dim enough to mystify. Color temperature matters. Warm whites, 2700K to 3000K, foster intimacy, while cooler tones, 4000K plus, risk sterility. Weather-resistant materials ensure longevity, and solar or LED options marry beauty with sustainability. Lighting is the thread that weaves together a patio story. It highlights the textures, animates the social spaces, and frames the structures. Done well, it is invisible, felt in the ease with which laughter flows and silence settles. It is the final brushstroke in the masterpiece of outdoor living, proving that light, in all its forms, is the ultimate host. Secluded sanctuaries, privacy and enclosure. Privacy is the silent guardian of serenity in outdoor spaces, a delicate balance between openness and intimacy. In a world where boundaries blur and noise encroaches, the art of enclosure transforms a patio into a refuge, a place where the mind unwinds, conversations linger unobserved, and the self reclaims solitude. This segment explores how design can sculpt seclusion without suffocation, crafting spaces that feel both sheltered and expansive, intimate yet connected to the sky. The journey begins with the language of materials. A dark wooden fence, like the one framing sunset-lit patio, does more than demarcate property lines. Its matte surface absorbs light, receding into the background while providing a stark canvas for vertical greenery. Climbing jasmine or ivy softens its edges, weaving living texture into rigid geometry. Similarly, a lattice panel, with its crisscross slats, filters sunlight into dappled patterns while obscuring prying eyes. These structures are not walls but veils, translucent boundaries that invite breezes and birdsong while muffling the outside world. Landscape itself becomes an architect of privacy. Tall, slender trees, such as the palms flanking the pergola, rise like sentinels, their fronds rustling in the wind to create a natural soundscape. Evergreen shrubs, densely planted along the patio's perimeter, form a year-round green curtain, their leaves whispering of seclusion. Even ornamental grasses, with their feathery plumes, add a layer of soft opacity, swaying gently to remind us that barriers need not be static. Strategic plant placement considers growth over time. A sapling planted today becomes tomorrow's canopy, its branches arching to cradle the space in leafy embrace. Pergolas and overhead structures offer dual gifts of shade and psychological shelter. The wooden pergola draped with string lights and climbing roses creates a ceiling of sorts, a threshold between earth and sky. Its slatted roof casts shifting shadows, carving the day into moments of light and shade, while its open sides maintain a dialogue with the surrounding garden. For those seeking deeper enclosure, retractable shades or canvas curtains can be drawn, transforming the structure into a temporary cocoon. This flexibility respects the duality of human desire, to feel both protected and free. Water features, too, play a role in crafting seclusion. A fountain's murmur masks street noise, its rhythmic cadence a sonic shield. Reflective pools mirror the sky, dissolving visual boundaries and expanding the sense of space, even within enclosed walls. The interplay of sound and reflection distracts the senses, turning focus inward to the patio's microcosm. Case studies reveal the poetry of these principles. An enclosed courtyard, bordered by a wooden fence and bursting with flower beds, illustrates how vibrant life thrives within boundaries. The fence's horizontal planks, stained to match the patio's furniture, create continuity, while the blooms within, a riot of reds and purples, distract from the world beyond. Tall potted plants flank the outdoor kitchen, their lush foliage softening the stainless steel's gleam and shielding chefs from casual gazes. Even the dark metal fence paired with slender trees becomes a study in contrast. The verticality of the trunks offsets the fence's horizontality, a visual rhythm that soothes rather than confines. Cultural nuances whisper through these designs. In Japanese gardens, bamboo screens, ***, filter light and wind, embodying wabi-sabi's embrace of transience. Mediterranean courtyards, enclosed by stucco walls, cradle citrus trees and trickling fountains, their seclusion a relic of ancient siestas. These traditions remind us that privacy is not merely functional, but deeply symbolic, a universal yearning for a haven. Yet enclosure must never suffocate. The trick lies in framing views rather than obliterating them. A strategically placed window in a fence offers a curated glimpse of distant hills. A gap between shrubs reveals a sliver of sunset. These apertures tease the imagination, balancing seclusion with curiosity. Even the choice of airy materials, laser-cut metal screens, transparent polycarbonate panels, allows light and shadow to dance freely, ensuring the space breathes. Privacy is an act of care, a design philosophy that says you are safe here. It is the rustle of leaves that masks a neighbor's chatter, the pergola's shadow that cradles an afternoon nap, the fence that stands not as a barricade, but as a gentle reminder of sanctuary. By mastering enclosure, we craft patios that are not escapes from the world, but invitations to inhabit it more fully, spaces where the soul can stretch, unobserved yet utterly alive. Conclusion. In the quiet moments of dawn, when the first light spills over a dew-kissed patio, or in the hushed evenings where fireflies dance around a flickering flame, we are reminded of the profound power of place. This video, Harmony in the Outdoors, has journeyed through the principles and poetry of crafting outdoor sanctuaries, spaces where design transcends aesthetics to become an expression of life itself. Here, amid the interplay of structure and spontaneity, human connection and solitary reflection, we find a blueprint for living that honors both our individuality and our innate need to belong. The structural foundations of symmetry, material contrasts, and purposeful zoning are the silent sentinels of these spaces. They are the bones that hold the vision steady, ensuring beauty is rooted in resilience. Yet it is the integration of nature that breathes soul into these frameworks. A patio becomes alive when palm fronds brush against a pergola's beams, when river rocks nestle between tiles like secrets waiting to be discovered, and when blooms erupt in seasonal crescendos. Nature is not a guest here. It is the heartbeat, the ever-changing collaborator that teaches us to embrace impermanence. The previous segments revealed how these spaces are stages for human stories. Around fire pits and dining tables, under the glow of string lights or the stars, we gather to laugh, argue, celebrate, and mourn. The patio becomes a mirror of our relationships, fluid, adaptable, and rich with potential. Lighting is the alchemist of these moments, transforming concrete and wood into realms of warmth and mystery. It is the difference between a space that is merely seen and one that is felt, where shadows and luminance conspire to carve intimacy from the night. And finally, an exploration of privacy and enclosure reminds us that true sanctuary lies in balance. A well-designed patio does not shut out the world but curates it, filtering noise through rustling leaves, framing views through lattice screens, and wrapping us in a sense of safety that lets our guard down. These boundaries are not barriers, but invitations to exhale, to be fully present in a space that honors our need for both connection and solitude. As we close this journey, consider your patio not as a project to complete, but as a story to unfold, one that grows with each season, each gathering, each quiet morning coffee. Let it be a testament to the idea that design is not about control, but collaboration with nature, with loved ones, and with the passage of time. The principles within these ideas are not rules but whispers, guiding you to listen to the land, to the light, and to your own intuition. May your outdoor sanctuary become a place where footsteps slow, where conversations deepen, and where the simple act of sitting beneath the sky becomes a ritual of renewal. For in these spaces, we do not escape the world. We rediscover our place within it, rooted, alive, and utterly at home.